bit.ly/Alcoa 3-30. Okay, that is the link to the Google Doc containing all the resources that we're going to be using today. All right. If you have an issue getting there, please let me know. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. This is what you should have in front of you, and it looks like all the attendees to this virtual meeting are seeing this. We are going to begin by showing you how to create events from spreadsheets, and you might wonder, well, what does Google Sheets have to do with Google Calendar? Well, there is a way that you can populate a calendar with events based on information that is in a Google Sheet. Now, this is great because if you've had to put a lot of events into a Google Calendar, you'll know and realize that it can take a little bit of time. All right, you're having to click on each day and enter the information manually, then you go to the next one. And what we're going to show you here is a way to streamline this whole process by just typing the information quickly into a Google Sheet, and then we'll import it. Okay, so on this page that we're looking at here, you'll notice that there is a plus symbol. Let me go ahead and explain what we're looking at right here. All right, there is a link to every item agenda right here, and if you click on that link, that will take you to the Google support page where you can actually learn more about it and how to do it. All right, step by step. All right, now I've created this so you can get back quickly to it if need be. But beyond that, you'll notice that there are a couple items there that have a plus symbol. All right, and that includes this first one here. And I would like everyone, if you would, go ahead and click on the plus symbol just to the right of Create Events from Spreadsheets. You'll notice when you do this, it's going to reveal a little pop-up window. It says Google Calendar Spreadsheets. All right, we want to go ahead and click on that. All right, now what that will do is it should force a copy to open in your drive, which is what we see here. We'll say Make a Copy. All right. We'll do that, and then it will launch, hopefully, Google Sheets. And here we are. Okay, so this is my copy. You now have your own copy that lives inside your Google Drive. All right, and we set this up as sort of a template for you to use, and you can keep this. Google Calendar it's kind of finicky when it comes to the type of data that it can ingest as it relates to creating events. So we have to do it exactly right. So as you can see here, we have the subject heading, the start date, start time, end, whether or not it's an all-day event, and you can click that arrow there and you can either choose true or false. You do have to make a choice. All right. You'll notice there's a description of the event if you want to. If you typed in a location, that's important for some people. If they're clicking on an event, they want to know where it is, right? And of course, whether or not you want this event to be private or not. If you want people to be able to see it, you'll want to set that private setting to false. All right, so what I'd like us to do right now is to go ahead and just create a few fictitious events here, all right, just for the sake of practicing, all right? And I'll do this as well. So let's say I'm a teacher and I'm going to do a unit test. Okay, I'm going to say that will start on, and if you double click that date there, you'll see a little calendar pop up, all right? And I'll go to, let's say, April 1st, okay? It's going to start at, we'll say 3 o'clock, that's fine. This is all make-believe here. And the end date, of course, is the same day, all right? So 4/1, all right? Here we go. End time, okay. All day event, no. You could enter some other information here if you wanted to, and I'll call high school here. And we're just going to add 2 events here, right? Private, false, all right. And I'll say Unit 2 test for this second item that I'm adding. All right, we'll say this will be a week later, right? So 4/8, all right? So again, we'll double click on there. We're in April, 4/8. All right, we can set it to 3 p.m. just like the other one. Now this is great, especially for coaches, because if you got a lot of matches and games, you could easily get the information typed up in here, and we'll show you in a second how to import that quickly to calendar. All right, it'll save you a lot of time. All right, we'll put the end date also to 4/8. All right, say 4 o'clock p.m. Okay, not an all-day event, not going to add anything there. We'll say this is also at Alcoa High School. And if you're a coach and this was a schedule you were making out, you could actually type in the name of the school there, and Google will actually find it. So when this information gets to Google Calendar and people see it, Google will generate a map based on the location information that you put here. All right. One last thing, and that's I'm going to set this to false. Okay. So let's pretend at this point that we've got lots of information we've added here, and we want to upload that and get it into Google Calendar. All right. First, we have to get it out of Sheets. All right. So watch me do this. And again, if I'm moving too fast, I apologize. This is being recorded. So if you have to go back and review later on, we'll make this available to you. Okay. So don't get upset if you're falling a little behind here. I know there's lots of steps and there's lots I'm trying to cover here. Okay. So to get this out of Sheets, I'm going to click on the File menu. All right. And I'm going to say Download. And this is what you want right here, a comma separated value. That's a CSV. It's known as a CSV. All right, so when we choose that, it's going to take this file and it's going to place it in our downloads folder. So let me go ahead and do that. It will quickly download it. You saw it come in. All right, it's downloaded now. Okay, so now at this point, what I'll do is I'll hop on over to Calendar. All right, I'll give you a second to hop over to Calendar. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to create a new calendar just for the sake of practicing, because I don't want to replace the events that I've just created now. I don't want that to delete anything, any calendar that I currently have. All right, so we're just creating a new dummy calendar. All right, so on the left-hand side of Google Calendar, you'll see the little plus symbol here. Okay, if you want to create a new calendar, click that plus symbol and then choose Create New Calendar. Okay, it'll ask you for a name, and I'm just going to call this Training Calendar. Okay, because this is a training session. Let me call it Training Session Calendar. Okay. All right, we've just created another calendar here. I'll click the blue button, and all right, it's done. So I can close out of this and then I'll come on back. Okay, so we got that training calendar created. Next, we want to import the data into that calendar. All right, now you can see on the left-hand side here, all the calendars that I have access to edit. All right, let me uncheck these two. So now we're only seeing events for the training session calendar, which there aren't any, right? We haven't added any events. Actually, we have in Sheets, but we haven't imported them into Calendar yet. Here's how we do that. Right on your gear in the upper right-hand corner, that's the Settings menu. If you click that, you'll see the option to go to your settings. All right. So I'll click there. All right. Now on the left-hand side, look for where it says Import and Export. Okay. Hopefully we see that. So from here, I'd say some of you could probably figure out the next steps. All right, but we'll go over them. We'll choose Import, and we want to select the file from our computer. Well, where is that file? It's in our Downloads folder, right? Because that's where we just saved it to. So I'll click that option, and I'll go to Downloads, and it should be at the very top of the list here. There it is. There's that CSV file. Okay. I'll choose it and then I'll click Open. All right, now this is key. Add to Calendar. I don't want to add it to my personal calendar here. I'm going to click that drop-down menu, and what are we going to look for? That training calendar, right? Training session calendar. All right, so I'll choose that, and then I'll click Import. All right, look there. It imported 2 of the events. That was all of them, actually. So now when I get out of there, oh, there they are. Okay, and if I skip to April, I'm seeing both of them there. All right, and if I typed in any other information that would be there, oh look, and then there's Alcoa High School. All right, there's the map, or a link to a map where somebody could click on and get driving directions if they wanted to. Again, this is great for coaches. All right, any questions about that? Does that all make sense? I'm not seeing everybody here, so I'm going to assume we understood that. Okay. All right, let's go back to the agenda here, and let's see what's next. Okay, setting up appointment slots. Okay, this is great if you, let's say, want to create a reservable time frame that people can book with you. In other words, let's say you've got a general public out there, maybe some parents, and you've set up appointment times and you want them to be able to choose from 30-minute intervals that appear in your calendar, okay? There's an easy way to do that. We'll show you how. All right, let's go back over to calendar. All right, and I'm going to click on my calendar now. All right, so I have that checked. I'm going to get off this one right here. All right, here we are at my calendar, and let's say I want to create an event that people can book. We'll say it's on April 13th. All right, so here's how we do it. We click on the day, okay, one time. And because I work in tech, I'll say that this is a tech training day. All right, I'll call it, the name of my event is Tech 1-to-1. All right, Tech 1-to-1. Okay. All right, now where it says event, out of office, or appointment slots, this is what you want to choose. This is the key here, right? Click appointment slots. All right. Now, next you have to decide on a time. When do you want people to come see you? All right, so click right here. I'll say 9:00 a.m. All right, and we'll say I'll stop having appointments at 3:00 p.m. All right, you can choose the duration of the slots right here. 30 minutes is a good amount of time. All right, so we'll leave it as is. All right. If you click more options, all right, you'll have the ability to add more dates here. All right, so if let's say we wanted this to go the entire week. All right, I'm going to say April 13th is when we want it to start, and that it'll finish on that date, but then also we want to repeat it for the remaining days of the week. All right, so what we'll do is we'll click here, and then we'll choose custom. Okay, repeat every day, and we want it to end on, okay, the 17th, April the 17th. Okay, I'll click done, and then I'll click save. All right, so you can see what that looks like. All right, on my calendar. All right, now the question is, well, how do people make the reservations then? It's easy. If you click on the event here, you'll see that there's a direct link to the appointment page for this calendar. All right, so if we click that, all right, and actually navigate over or scroll over to the dates, there they are. All right, so what a user would do is, if they're provided the link to this, all they'd have to do is click on one of these items, all right, and that makes the reservation. All right, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. Okay, so let me get out of this quick. All right, so what you would do if you want to share this link, the reservation page, out with others, you could email it, you could post it to your web page. This is what you do. You just click here, and then you copy this link. I'm going to right click on here and choose copy link. All right, I've got another account that I'm going to switch over to right here, and I'm going to assume that this person was able to access the link. So this is what it looks like for them. All right, if they go over to the week where they can make the reservation, they can see, oh, here's lots of lots of spots open. All right, so I'm going to take the first one here on the 13th at 9 a.m. So if they click that, all right, their name is going to appear here. All right, and then they can actually type some other information here. So for tech help, I'll say this person, I want to learn more about Google Drawings. Okay, and then we'll click Save. All right, so this event that they just scheduled appears on their calendar. Now if I come back to my calendar, look here. There it is. The appointment has been made, and if I click on it, I can see details. Oh, he wants to learn more about Google Drawings, so I'll make sure that I prepare for that before the training session. All right, now if I want to get rid of that, it's quite easy. All I have to do is click the delete event icon. It looks like a trash can icon right here. All right. Another thing you might want to keep in mind is that, let's say, well, I want to take lunch during this, so I want to block off some of that time. No problem. If you click on the appointment page for this calendar, you can actually book lunch for yourself. All right, so I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to say from 12 to 12:30, that's going to be lunch. I'm just going to type that. I'll click Save. Okay, and you can repeat that for as many times as you need to. Right, and then if I come back to the calendar, you can see there. So what this does is, by you making that reservation, it prevents somebody else from making it. Okay. Any questions at all about that? I know there's several steps, but if you do it a couple times, it's really easy. Okay. Any questions at all? Okay. All right. This is a very good class. No questions. All right. Let me come back to the agenda here and see what's next. All right. Embedding calendars in websites. Okay. That's pretty easy to do as well. If you have a school website, which we all do, and you want to put your calendar on there, it's actually pretty easy. All right, so the first thing you'll want to do is go to your calendar, and then we want to go to our calendar settings or share settings. So in this case, I'm looking at my calendar, it's selected, and I'll click on the three dots here, and I'll go to Settings and Sharing. Okay? What I can do at this point is scroll down. I'm going to keep going. All right, this is what I'm looking for. If you're wanting to embed your calendar into the website, you want to get the embed code. This is it right here. All right, so if I click on that, then I'll do a keyboard shortcut to copy it. I've got it copied on the clipboard. Okay? Then I've already got this open. All right, here is the school website. I'm on my personal pages here, and I'll add another page. All right, I'll just say this is a blank page, and I'll call this calendar. All right, and I want to add some content here. All right. And then if you look on your toolbar up here at the top, there's the little embed source code icon. And if we click that and then paste our code in, there it is. There is our Google Calendar embedded on our website. So once we save this and publish it, it'll go live and others will be able to see it. Okay? Okay, moving right along. Check resource availability. This is handy. As you know, we have lots of locations throughout our district that can be booked. A lot of things going on in the district, and the only way to manage them is for us to have them here on Google so we can see when somebody has reserved them. All right, that's especially useful for us at the high school, especially the Lyceum. A lot of people wanting to book that place. All right, so one way that you can check the availability of one of these resources is to subscribe to that resource. Now you'll notice on the left-hand side here, I have lots of different calendars. Each reservable resource has its own calendar. And I have subscribed to several of these, as you can see. Now, I'm not seeing any of the information because they're not checked. The reason they're not checked is because I don't want them cluttering up my calendar. But you'll notice if I do check, let's say the Lyceum here, all right, you can see that my calendar starts to populate with different events. All right, the ones that are all faded, obviously those have already occurred. All right, so I'll uncheck that. But as far as you're concerned, if you want to subscribe to one of these location calendars so that you can just come over here and check and see when it's been booked, like we did before, you're going to click the plus symbol right here, okay? And you're going to choose Browse Resources. All right, all of our resources are grouped by location. All right, so if I'm here at the high school, I can click that drop down arrow. All right, and you can see these are the ones that I've already subscribed to. Let's say I want to see the student lounge. All right, I'll go ahead and check that. All right, so now it's been added. And if I come back here, I should be able to scroll down and see student lounge. There it is, right there. And it doesn't look like that has been reserved for any time soon. So I am free to make that reservation if I want to. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Hope we're doing okay. All right. Importing other calendars. Let's see what I had here. All right, you'll want to go ahead and download that. Okay, so you actually have the ability, others outside of our organization have the ability to send calendars in a packaged file. All right, this is an ICS file that we just downloaded here. And I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and import that to a calendar. It's quite similar to what we did before, all right, with the CSV file. All right, so what we'll do is if we click plus, we can choose import. All right, we want to select the file from our computer. All right, this is the file we just downloaded. All right, I have the AHS faculty calendar here. I'll click open. All right, I don't want to add it to my personal calendar, so we'll use that other calendar that we just created. All right, the training session calendar. All right, I'll click that, and then I'll click import. It's the same process as we did before with the CSV file. It's just a different type of file that we're importing. All right, so you'll notice if we click import, there are 44 events here. This was the a downloaded version of the AHS faculty calendar. So if I come back here to my calendars, all right, training session calendar, you can see there's all the events that are brought in. Okay? All right, and I'm going to stop viewing that. All right, moving right along. Seems like we're making pretty good time here. It's 4:10. All right. Schedule meet sessions. Okay, this is pretty appropriate now, given that a lot of us are doing remote trainings for people. You're setting up events there on your calendars, or you're telling people in your Google Classroom page, hey, we're going to do a live meet at this point. You can actually set all that up in Google Calendar. All right, and here's how you do it. It's very easy. All right, if we go back to Google Calendar, let's say that I want to create a Google Meet, and I want to invite other people to come to this on April 20th. All right, so what I'll do is I'll click on the 20th, all right, and I'll say meet with Larson. Okay, I'm going to say the time will be, we'll say 10 o'clock. All right, so I'll choose that, 10 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock a.m. All right. Next, click More Options. All right, now this is the key. If you have some people who aren't able to actually come to your office and see you, all you got to do is add conferencing as an option. And then that way, if they accept the invitation that you send out, all they'll have to do is click this conferencing link and they'll be able to join you virtually. All right, so click that drop-down menu and here's Hangouts Meet. Okay? That link will be included in the calendar invitation that you send out. All right, additionally, and this is useful for teachers who want to do instruction, but they don't necessarily want to see all of their students while they're instructing virtually. All right, they can actually stream a session. So if you click your drop-down menu here, you'll notice you have the option to add a live stream. Okay, so you could actually put the link to the live stream in your Google Classroom and say, hey, everybody tune in on this date and time and you can watch me teach. All right, all you got to do is give them the link. Post that link right there into your classroom. And you can do the same thing with this one up here. The difference being this one is sort of passive from their perspective. They're just watching you. The Hangouts Meet is going to allow them to engage and ask questions. Okay? And then, of course, you want to add your guests over here. All right, you can click them individually, or if you have groups set up, the Active Directory groups are also here. So if I wanted to send all this out to AIS, I could do that. All I have to do is just choose it. Okay? And then you click Save. Okay? All right. Continuing. Add someone else's calendar. This is kind of fun. If you click on calendar once again, let me get out of this. Discard that. All right. You can add someone else's calendar. Actually, you can do it a couple ways. If you click on the plus symbol once more, all right, you can say subscribe to calendar. All right, and then all you'd have to do at this point is just type in their name. Well, here's Glenn. All right, so these are the options that I have. I can bring these in now to my calendar and see what he's doing, when he's doing it, provided on his side he's made it available to me. All right, you have the option to prevent anybody from seeing this or finding you. All right. All right. The other thing that you can do here, and that is the last step. Oops, let me click right here. It's sort of related to this. Where it says meet with, you could click on a person's name and then it's going to automatically show you what they have going on for a given month. So you'll know not to try to schedule something at a time when they're busy. Okay? Now you'll notice we don't see any details here for any of these things Ms. Stone has going on. You can actually change that for yourself so others can see what you have going on. All right, and again, that's back in the settings. All right, so if I cancel out of this and check my calendar and then go to settings and sharing, all right, you're going to see some of the options that we have here. If you'll scroll down, all right, make available for Alcoa City Schools. See only free, busy, high details. If you wanted them to see everything, you would choose this option. See all event details. Okay? And you all can explore this section. I do have, typically I set up notifications for events that I have going on just to remind me not to forget them. All right, you can automate some of that here. You've got the public URL to this calendar, so if I wanted somebody to just see my calendar, I could copy this and then just send it to them. And then if they paste in the address in a web browser, there it is. They'll see my calendar. Okay? But that's where you go to retrieve it, in the settings. Okay? All right, let's look back at the agenda. I think that covered just about everything that I wanted to today. Adding somebody else's calendar, sharing our calendar. Y'all, if you have any questions, about using Google Calendar, feel free to ask me at this point. I usually dedicate some time at the very end of a session to questions if they come in. And if they don't, we get to just leave a little bit early. That is all I have for our training. Again, I appreciate everyone coming. I'll be sending out the link to this video here in a couple days after I get it edited. We have a few more training sessions that we'll be doing this year. Be looking for more information about that as well.